All right, it's a beautiful morning. We'd like to welcome everyone.
Carol. We begin with the newspaper review, after which we bring you the weather report, and shortly after we continue with our guest. I'm going to be starting with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. On the front page, we have outrage spreads over General Rabi's death in bandits' hand. MBF, Miete, Allah, Atiku, Buraita issues warnings. Bandits yet to release our mother, says son of Rabi. Still on the front page, Orire abduction, Bauchi governor visits Makinde, canvasses security architecture rigid. CAN marks Black Sunday, urges action against security. And that's all we have on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. We'll now take some stories inside. Article faults federal government's planned 4 trillion naira bond to settle power sector debts. Kaduna earmarks 34 billion naira to end 30-year plight of communities ravaged by erosion. Orire abduction, Bauchi governor visits Makinde, canvasses for security architecture. On page 3, we have outrage spreads over General Rabi's death in bandits' hands. MBF warns against risk of escalating insecurity in Nigeria. Still on page 3, CAN marks Black Sunday, urges action against insecurity. More stories on the Nigerian Tribune. On page 6, we have Nigeria losing revenue, job opportunities through high export of raw materials, says experts, and calls for focus on export of value-added products to boost economic growth. True test of reform should translate into lower food prices, improved incomes. This is coming from the Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprises. Still on page 6, Optiva Capital Partners expand focus towards wealth creation, healthcare, and women empowerment. On page 7, cooking gas scarcity prices hike, bites harder in Lagos and Ogun State. Vendors sell for 2,200 per kilogram. Blame depot owners for scarcity. Capital Sage reaffirms commitment to corporate governance as audit chief emerges first vice chairman of IIA Nigeria. Moving on from that, we still have more stories to take on the Nigerian Tribune. Looking for more stories. We have on tax and taxation. Tax reforms, Nigeria businesses pay less tax on new incentive deductions. We have experts load IMF over alarms on Nigeria's derivative financing deals. JBR calls for finance and minister to tackle tax reforms implementation challenges. On energy, we have why imported fuel landing cost is cheaper than Dangote price, says marketer. Still on energy on page 16, federal government reviews petroleum sector progress, seeks stronger performances, accountability, and increased investment. Federal government policy pushing hard on domestic gas utilization. Moving on from that, we still have more stories on in the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Success of Ekiti poll will build Nigeria's confidence ahead of 2027 election, says INEC chairman. This is on Politics News on page 21. Oyebanji's achievement enough to win second term, says group. 2027, Ebonyi is not obedient, will adopt Tinubu, says Umahi. We have every reason to be disobedient in obedience to President Tinubu. On page 22, ex-governor, Senate leader demands grassroots mobilization for Oyebanji, warns APC members against complacency. Senator Natasha mobilizes support for PDP candidates in Ekiti State. Accord State Chairman welcome Benga Ashim emerges as presidential candidate. On page 23, we have APC primaries cast aspirations on democracy. Senator Arise says governors have become appointing authority, seeks Tinubu's intervention. Osun Accord Party lawmakers seeks redeployment of police commissioner, raise concerns over election security. Still on page 23, we have PDP wants defectors against claiming membership. On page 24, we have NAS seals deal with Tatita on job creation scholarships for students. Serap sues NNPCL over alleged failure to account for 5.9 billion naira spent on rebranding. 2026 Hajj, Nigerian pilgrims will be airlifted home before Saudi deadline. We will take more stories on page 26. Amotekun arrests 97 suspects, bust kidnap, robbery syndicates in Ondo State. Still on page 26, Army apprehends 46 suspected illegal immigrants in Ogun State. Police launch manhunt for gunmen who adopted Ondo community leader. Bandits kill 3, burn houses in Niger State. NDLEA intercept businessman with 6.10 kilograms of cocaine starched in shirts, towels from Brazil. That's all we have. Now go to the sports segment. We have Alan targets first World Cup goal as Norway face Iraq. Rexona towards Nigeria consumers with World Cup experience. And that's all we have on the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Let's see you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Florence. All right, I'll take some stories from the Vanguard newspaper, and I'll take some from the Punch newspaper. All right, on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, we have the stories. Bullets before ballots. Insecurity threatens 2027. 2027. Okay, let's go on this commercial break. I beg your pardon. We'll go on this commercial break. And when we come back, I will take more stories from the Vanguard newspapers. Stay with us, don't go away.
Super Malt Multivitamin Active Teens. Super Malt Multivitamin Active Teens. Shine on.
When malaria knocks you down, you can be sure parasites are having a party in your system.
Welcome to our new kingdom, guys!
Comel, an effective weapon against malaria. Attacking the parasite army directly to give you express relief and get you back on your feet effectively. Comel on. Malaria gone.
All right, welcome back. We're still taking some stories from the dailies this morning and, of course, from the Vanguard newspaper. Of course, before I went on that break, I took the story, bullets before ballot, insecurity threatens 2027 polls. And, of course, some riders there, you have some riders saying 222,137 dead in 20 years, 5,272 killed in 5 months of 2026. INEC, Falano, Adeniran raise red flag. All right, that story is there. Still some other riders. No credible election. That's coming from Amupiton. Opposition parties kick against postponement. That story is there. How insecurity overshadow past polls. You also have that there. All right, Black Sundays, security central to our democratic survival. That's coming from the Christian Association of Nigeria. All right, we'll take all the stories there this morning, still on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Civil war, why Ojukwu refused to recognize Gowon as head of state. That's coming from Abdul Salami. You also have food industry on the brink as rising cost forex crisis trigger mass layoff. The story is on page 28 of the Vanguard newspaper. You also have escalating insecurity. Ministers, governors may become target. That story is on page 17, and that's according to Buratai. All right, let's go to some other dailies this morning. I'll take some of the stories from the Punch newspaper. On the front page, you have police reports. Bandits launch over 50 attacks in 1 week. That story is there. Police recover 33 firearms in nationwide anti-bandit offensive. FG spends 58 billion naira on security as attacks persist nationwide. You also have, still on the front page of the Punch newspaper, General Son rejects diabetes claim over father's death. No terrorist influx into Oyo. Police insist. You also have this June 12. Same politicians took money from Abiola Tofa, says Abdusalami. U.S.-Iran truce could slash petrol price to 900 naira per liter. That's coming from operators. Banks earn 225 billion naira from ATM e-banking charges. 68 pledges unmet as 10th and National Assembly near ends. That's according to report. All right, let's take some other stories there this morning from the Punch newspaper. Nigerians, others buy $3.1 billion airtime on credit. Ooh, that's a serious one. All right, teachers' detention sparks opera among Lagos colleagues. That's also there. And FG opens special CBN account for retirees' benefit. The story is on page 3. All right, those are some of the stories that made the headline this morning from the few dailies we're able to take. All right, we'll go on a break, and when we come back, we'll be serving you with some weather reports, of course, quotes for the day, and then we'll be coming back with the interview segment. Thank you very much for staying tuned. We'll be right back.
It's up to architect Bisola and builder Brian to rebuild the city.
We'll need some help. Let's get up and go!
You'll need more Cowbell Choco to complete your mission.
To get up and go, give them Cowbell Choco.
No worries, I could make her. Mogo Bible.
Victor, even you, they use money point.
Of course now, they use money points.
Confirm.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Welcome back. It's still AM120 on BCOS television. Right now, we are seated with our guest, and today we are going to be addressing a topic that affects every citizen in the nation. Today's topic is Democracy Day, analyzing Tinubu's speech. And we have our guest, Honorable Tallest Innocent. He is a political analyst. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning for having me.
Yes.
All right, of course, as we continue on the conversation, of course, we'll be looking at what Florence already mentioned. We talked about Democracy Day, analyzing Tinubu's speech. The president's speech was characterized by many issues. He started by recognizing all groups, different ages of people from different status. He also did not stop at that. He also appreciated everyone for their understanding. He went ahead to also look at before he came on board, he also recalled that our children in Borno and Oyo were abducted, and that's why the Democracy Day speech was done in a solemn way. There was no major jamboree or celebration for the Democracy Day celebration. And one major thing he talked about people sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. He talked about how many of them had been brought back to the society, and he talked about those who failed to repent, that nobody will go unpunished. There were so many things he talked about, the industry, he talked about Greek, he mentioned a whole lot in his speech. And I'd like to ask you, Honorable Tallest Innocent, let's look at the speech. How would you describe this speech? There has been speeches over the years, but this Democracy Day speech, I beg your pardon, seem to have touched many, many areas. And maybe, is it really a renewed hope speech?
Well, thank you. As you rightly said, the speech talks many aspects in the society. But sincerely speaking, I know he has a good writer. Yes,
I like that.
Someone has a good writer.
Wow.
He has written a good.
I think you should write him to let him know that.
Yeah, to me, if he, at least you must be hearing what we're saying. He has a good writer, and he has written a good speech for him.
Wow.
Whatever they said that day does not reflect in our lives.
Really?
We've not seen any part of it in our lives.
Wow.
So yes. Now after the major issue in the country today is kidnapping.
Insecurity.
Insecurity. Banditry. Did he address that?
He did.
He was only begging the corporates to hand over their guns, that the window is open for now, and it will not be open forever. That wasn't a hope for Nigerians. It should tell us what the country is planning to do about the banditries, the kidnappers. Telling them to hand over or submit to the government or whatever is not the issue. Did he address that issue? No. And normally, Tinubu is somebody that both him and his writers are very smart. They've written a good one, and he acknowledged every other people. But is this really reflecting?
I think we need to take that part so that we can be on the same page.
All right.
Because when you talked about him pleading with terrorists, to my mind, it didn't look like what I read. He said, we have moved from training with our allies, the United States, France, and European countries, to precision targeting Borno State, in Borno State, we degraded ISWAP's command center. Terror-related deaths are now in 81% since 2015. Over 13,000 terrorists have been neutralized in the past year, but we also keep the door of surrender open.
Sorry, where did we get these statistics?
Government, federal government.
See, the problem we have in this country is that our rulers will just come up from nowhere, say whatever they want to say, and people will applaud them. Nobody will try to check whatever they've said to us.
Now,
you have 1,000 and whatever bandits being neutralized. Fine. Why are our majors are still dying? Why are they still dying? Generals are still dying. Which country does that? How do you want to tell me that a major in army will just die like a fowl and nothing is happening? The soldiers are not even angry. They're not even going to the... At least there's something before when we were growing up. If you mistakenly insult a soldier, you are in a problem. Talk less of stoning them. Talk of when a major general is being slaughtered, videoed, and sent to us. And you're telling me some people have, if I've neutralized them, what are you doing? You do that and you still integrate them to our soldiers, in our army.
What do you think is wrong?
The truth is that this set of leaders we have today have not ever come out and tell us what is their plan. What are they cooking for Nigerians? They've not done that. And by the day they do that, Nigeria will get better. You will see somebody, a civilian like me, will come up and be telling you that he negotiates our freedom with bandits. Who are these bandits? Why must they come to Nigeria? In the first place, why must they at least exist in Nigeria when we have able soldiers? Why? Is there any department in soldier we did not have or not being financed very well? We have Air Force, we have submarine, we have army, we have police, we have what do they call them? The civil defense. Name them. But none of them is operated. Nobody is saying the truth. A single man came out in the national television, told us live and direct that the government today knows the name of those bandits. He knows them by their names, their phone number, their address. What did we do? Why do you think government has failed? If this is correct, because they're not telling us the truth. They have a problem. They have an agenda, and that agenda may be somebody came up and told you, Emiloko. That statement to me has a lot of meaning. What's the meaning? Who shared Nigeria? Who shared the time? Who did? Where did they share the time? Who are the people that signed that agreement that is your turn? It's just a slogan. It's not a slogan. It is. People don't talk. People have been coming. People don't talk anyhow. People have been coming up with slogans. No. There's some that we can call slogan. There's some I will tell you has a lot of meaning. So because it is Tinubu, you have other meanings to it. Okay, when Buhari was coming, it was say Baba. It was simple. Maybe because you don't understand what say Baba means. Have you seen a video where he said, I collected this thing for myself? Have not seen that video. Same here. Please find it, he will say it. He said it, that I collected this thing for myself. Are you saying he's not since he's been there, it's been 3 years, are you saying he has not done anything for Nigerians? What has he done? Just mention one thing. Nigerians are not asking for more. We are not over twist. We only ask for security and light, hospital, good ones. That is all we ask for. You're talking as if this administration has done nothing, and I'm worried. Please mention one. I'm worried. Mention one. Was this how the country was before this administration took over? At least we used to. There's one thing we used to say: if you cannot take me to where I'm going to, take me back to where you picked me from. Really? It's better we go back to where we're coming from, because this is not working at all. Where were we coming from? We are coming from where before it was 195 naira. Dollars was 260 naira. But this administration did not change the price. It was the Buhari-led government who ended the subsidy regime and took us to that level. It was already there. It was already in the budget. You are in the national television today. Yes. You don't have to mislead us too. No, it's not about misleading. The day of inauguration, this man said, subsidy is gone. Do you realize that in the budget for that particular year, it had been removed?
And by June of that year, because it's a process.
Sorry, if I'm to let you understand the situation of things, Buhari never removed subsidy.
What did he do?
Psychologically, they are trying to play a game with us.
Okay.
And they're planning to play safe. They know the after effects of what is going to happen when that thing happens, when you remove that subsidy totally. See, this is our country. As an individual, as a human being, as a Nigerian, what do you, under normal circumstances, what do you benefit in this country since 2023? What? You can't even afford to go
Let's
to...
not be short-sighted with the problem. I feel like it's coming from way back. How has democracy been successful in Nigeria? And how should we actually regard the success of democracy in the country?
Democracy? Because we call this thing democracy. I've not seen any democracy in this country.
So what entails democracy to you?
Democracy is for me, you, and us. Have your voice one day been heard? If you speak out of the line here, you'll be arrested. Even when you're saying the truth. You'll be traced. But a bandit will call from the bush. Video from the bush. Send it. Nobody will trace them. Nobody will get them. That is just democracy. Democracy is when we allow people to say their mind. Ask questions before you take a decision. That is what they call democracy. You ask questions. Dialogue with people. What do they really want? Do we need road at this point in time? Do we need fuel at this point in time? Do we need light at this point in time? Let us discuss what we need before you go into it. A man cannot wake up from his comfort zone and tell us that he's going to go do Coastal Road. Do we really need that Coastal Road at this point in time? Do we? Our youth are not having works now. What do you know the reason?
It's not government's responsibility to provide jobs.
Sorry, when did they not make a country livable for people? Companies are living. What do you expect? How many companies do you have in this country today? Foreigners. How many? Even indigenous companies. How many do we have?
I'm sorry, Honorable Tallest. When we begin to talk about the role of government, I think we also have roles to play.
Yes.
I have seen people, including myself, establish businesses, and you see how people, the way they manage the business, and they finish up people's business.
Under which,
including you yourself,
under which atmosphere, ma? When you are,
is it government that would also tell people that when you're working in a place, you should ensure that you give your own, you contribute your own quota to get that business running well, or to get there and siphon the person's resources and walk away?
Please.
No, let's look at it. While we are blaming government, let's also pick the one that belongs to us.
We are not. That is secondary.
It's not secondary.
The primary issue.
You're talking about companies.
The primary issue here is
making
Nigeria livable for everybody.
What made those companies leave?
They are living because of fear.
Fear of
kidnapping,
of killing, got to this point,
of banditry, terrorism.
Before kidnapping got to this point, many companies have left Nigeria for neighboring countries.
When you're not working, what do you expect me to do? If I come to this program today and there's no lights, I will have to go back.
Honorable Tallest, let me give you.
Sorry, if I'm here to this morning and you don't have light, will this program happen?
Let me give you a scenario.
It will not happen. I'll have to leave.
Let me give
that
you
is
a
what
scenario.
the companies are doing. They came to Nigeria. There's no light to operate. Who will run diesel from morning till night? Do you know how much they sell it? How much are you going to sell that product? You don't make things easy for people. You travel from Jerusalem to London, from London to France, from France to wherever you are going to, telling people to come to invest on where? A country that is not even safe for the youths, for the owners.
Okay, let me give you an instance.
All right.
A business owner spoke with me sometime recently, and the person was sharing that they established a business. It was supposed to be an estate, and they were building the estate in apartments for people to live. And trust me, some Nigerians were brought on board to manage the business and see that the building. And trust me, you know what they started doing? They started selling the raw materials that were being brought on sites. If they bring 100 bags of cement, only 80 will stay. They will sell off the remaining. Now, if you're an investor coming from another country and you have the opportunity to establish such business and you have this kind of experience, would you still want to stay? Those are the issues. Let's not blame government for even our own misbehavior. As individuals, as citizens, we need to contribute our quota.
You are right.
So let's look at it from this angle. We're talking about businesses living. What about the roles that we are playing?
You are very, very right.
Is that the electricity we're talking about?
You are very, very right. That now things have gone beyond.
We have all contributed to it.
I will not agree with you. I will not. let's come back to what you said. I want to build a factory. There's a lot of engineers around. And what they do now is, most people will ask you, how much will it take for me to build 2-bedroom flat here? You give me the quotation. I pay you. Whether they steal the material, they don't steal the material, it's none of my business. What I'm after is, you build the house, and I come around and see the house. And I balance you. If your workers are stealing, that is primary, that is secondary thing. We are talking of, do you even have the mind to think of building in that land where you know terrorists can come in anytime and pack everybody? That is the issue here. Is it possible for me to even think of building anything in this country? If you are being given chance this morning, my sister, you will leave this country.
No, I will not leave this
country.
Will leave,
you will go.
I've had opportunities to go, I will not go.
If you are given again now,
I'm a patriotic Nigerian.
With what is happening today in this country, with what is going on now,
I am optimistic that Nigeria will get better. We all need to put our heads together and make Nigeria better. It is our country. We should keep running at us together because nobody will be there. Go and see many of the, Nigerians who have traveled.
Some children have been in the bush for over 40 days.
I do not dispute that. It's unfortunate.
And they are human beings like us.
I agree.
And what happens to them? What do you think is running in their mind now? What do you think? How do you think they feel?
I think what we should say is what is running in our minds.
No, their own mind. Sorry, their own mind. Their only prayer is, God, let me leave this place. If I leave this place, even if we aren't going to Benin Republic, they will go.
Now, let's do an analysis of the children in the bush.
All right.
These children were adopted. Don't forget, some of our people...
By who?
I'm coming. Some of our people, Yorubas will say that if the enemies, there's no enemy within, the enemy on the external cannot have access to you.
Good.
Some people in that community worked hand in hand with the terrorists, knew the terrorists were there, were selling them food, were bringing them stuffs, and knew they were existing in that place, and nobody said anything until those children were kidnapped. Now they have been kidnapped. They are still allies in our communities. Among those people, some were apprehended.
Good.
The rest is history. But the children are still there. Now, do we also blame that on government? We create the problem and we expect the government to solve all the problems, while we do not even accept that we have created problems.
Let me be sincere to you, my sister.
Yes.
There's nothing, what you're saying it from your own point of view that, okay, yes, it's good for somebody to say something and say something. It's fine. When you notice some movement in your area, you have to say something. And when you fail to say something, well, I blame you for that. But after that speech, after that maybe whistle blowing or whatever, do you have any guarantee that you exist the next 24 hours?
Have you not saved life with just children being in the bush?
You
would have gone, but you'd have saved.
It got to the point.
About 50 lives.
Sorry, it got to the point where today, if you see something and say it, you might be in danger, because the government will still go back and tell them that this is the person that said. Even when they will promise you heaven and earth, they are going to protect you. I'm not trying to defend whoever that saw them. Those people selling. Do you know these people came? They used to come in as normal human beings like us. They behave well.
I don't know honestly where you live, but trust me, wherever you live, if you start seeing the same face, going and coming, I do it a lot of times. I will accost you and ask you, okay, who are you? What are you doing in this environment?
Sorry,
we must begin to learn to ask questions.
I said one thing before now. We have able men in the soldier. Those ammunitions, those guys are carrying, where did they come in from? Our borders, are they not manned?
Can we go back to the Buhari-led government?
You can.
During the Buhari-led government, they tried to withdraw arms from the society.
Yes.
It was noticed that there was arms proliferation.
Yeah.
History has taught us that most of the arms that came into Nigeria came in through the countries, bordering our countries. And some of them were traced to Muammar Gaddafi.
Okay.
And this keeps coming in. Some people are benefiting and living on arms sales purchase. And here are we. If these arms came into Nigeria, of course, there are some agencies of government that should be held responsible for allowing arms to fly and people carry arms. At some point in this country, we were talking about headers carrying AK-47.
Not sort of
So
bandits.
at this point, some elders, not all, at this point where we are,
Have they stopped?
where do you think
Have they stopped?
we have gone wrong?
We've gone wrong because we don't have government that stands on his feet to defend his people. Today, President was telling us that window for banditry, terrorists is still open, but will not be open forever. You don't have any right as a government to beg bandits or terrorists.
I just read it to you. He didn't beg them.
This is encouraging them to do more. Negotiating with them is another bad one. You don't have right to forgive anybody. As a government, your duty is to send them to God is left for God to forgive or whatever.
If government had negotiated, the children won't be in the bush. Trust me. And let's not be myopic, Honorable Tallest. Let's be open-minded to look at issues all round. You will recall that when some able men in the Niger Delta started talking about marginalization, it was always a hell of issues in the Niger Delta. And trust me, government gave them opportunities. Many of them traveled abroad to study.
Okay.
The likes of Tompolo today. The Tompolo we see today that is contributing to the development of Nigeria.
Sorry, what was their agitating? What are they agitating for?
You know better.
They agitated for their land being polluted and they are being neglected.
They also have something to say.
Nothing, they have nothing. Even the government today will tell you that those guys are foreigners. That is even the worst part of it. A foreigner will come to this place, terrorize us and kill us, and nothing happens. Somebody will tell you that he went to bandit. Have you seen the video where a commissioner of police was killed? There's a meeting with the bandits, with our senior officers, and they were asked not to wear their uniform to that venue. And the same man they killed, some of the bandits wore his uniform with the stamp, the name and the rank to that place. My sister, can you today have a jackknife with you and police will see you and leave you? But those guys were in the...
Those guys, you think I don't have one where we're sitting?
You can't have it. They will arrest you, they will jail you. But those bandits, they came in there fully armed. And our officers were there. And they told them, don't video, don't record whatever we're saying. They have the right to record and post to us. Like, what are we saying? Let us be sincere to ourselves. Why are we trying to defend what is not?
I'm sorry.
The government is not working when it comes to security.
We are not defending.
That is what is happening here.
We are looking at issues. We are not defending.
See, sorry. Remember, a man come up, that is Gumi, telling us that the government of this country knows the bandits by their name, their address, and their phone numbers. And he said again that he has not been going there alone. He goes there with the army, police, and whatever to talk to them, to negotiate with them. If you mistakenly kill somebody's goods in this town, will government come to negotiate? They will come to arrest you. Some people are in dungeon today because of maybe they just mistakenly kill a fowl. Talk less of who, somebody that have killed human being. You watch our Major General being slaughtered. Nothing happened. Government did not do anything. You can't do that in a Senegal client. You can't. The armies will be all over everywhere. That's what are we doing?
In his speech, it says that they allocated 5.41 trillion naira, and this is the largest ever to defense and security.
That is business, man.
So the question remains, is it that these policies, this money is not enough? Is it still not adequate? Or mismanagement of funds?
That is business. Why they don't want this insecurity to stall? They move those money. That money is bigger.
5.41
if you put education, health together, that money is bigger than that in our budget. For insecurity, who is the insecure? Who are they deceiving? All of us cannot be a fool at the same time. You can fool some people for some time, not every time. But we still have prominent people in this country. We have educated ones, genuinely educated ones, not those ones that forge certificates. We have them. So you can't just bring this thing out and be reading to us as if you are reading to primary school children. Maybe they will recite it after you've gone. No.
Okay.
Are they working? It's just a paper. They are not working. If they use this money judiciously to tackle insecurity, you will not see one again. Who are those bandits? Are they bigger than Nigeria? How many of them? Are they bigger than our soldiers? Are they more than our soldiers? Are they trained more than our soldiers? Who is bringing those guns? Who is bringing those ammunitions? Who is feeding them? You want to tell me they're eating with just what they bought from the street? No. They are being supplied whatever they need. Now, banditry has guts to tell you what to do. Even getting to the point where you have to adjust your laws of a state or a country to favor them, to suit them.
That was only a demand then.
Why must he come to that point?
Well, that's what.
Why did you give them that rope to come to that point? A thief now telling you what you are going to do for him in your own house.
When they have our children in custody, they can say what they want.
These are things that are supposed to have ended.
It is now government.
It's supposed to have ended a long time ago, but we pamper them to this point because some people are benefiting from that.
What is the way forward, Honorable Thomas, as we wrap up this?
Nigerian government should come up and tell us.
Really
Nigerian government will come up and declare war against terrorism. That is just the point. Shoot them when you see them. Don't need to. Why will you even take a terrorist that have killed somebody?
But the law does
Corridor.
not allow you to see them and shoot them.
When Anene was terrorizing Nigeria, it doesn't take them 2 weeks to take him to court and kill him with his gangs.
But
you don't need to. Okay, now the terrorists, anywhere they kidnap, their demands is leave our guys in the prison. Leave our guys in the prison. Why must we put a terrorist in the prison? Send that terrorist to his baker.
They are currently.
If they fired most of them, video them and show back to their people. Some of them will be afraid today.
But they will retaliate.
Retaliate what?
They will.
By, also arming the citizens.
Have you seen these people in action?
No, I haven't.
They come to a big town, chase everybody away. We're not talking of maybe 2 people, 3 people in the bush. A whole town, and they will tell you they're coming. They will write that they're coming. And they will say, come. What are you telling us? These people are not hiding anymore. They're not even afraid again. Because they feel they have that godfather. They have those people behind them. Even when they are being caught, they will still release them. Can you steal my thing today and be proud to video that thing and show me? Can you kill my son today and be proud and video that my son you killed and show me? You can't do that, my sister. So these people doing this thing, they believe, yes, nothing will happen. The government will not do anything to them. And it's a very big slap to a Nigerian government. That a bandit will be in the bush, videoing, sending to us, and you here will not trace them. But you will go after Yahoo, some boys you call Yahoo boys. Some boys you turned to Yahoo. Some graduates you turned their life to something else.
Crime is crime.
Crime is crime, but some are being caused by the government. If this country is working, let me tell you something today. Some of these Yahoo guys have intelligence. It's not even easy to be a Yahoo boy. Some of them can manufacture shoe. Some can do some other works. But because of the country, the way it's being run, they can't operate. If this is not a government venture, you don't tell me you will run diesel from morning till every day you run diesel here. How will you make it? One day you pack up. One day you have to go.
How can we rebuild the common?
They should help us stop this fear. And we are all afraid. Our people are not going to farm again. People in the village are running to the city. Sooner or later the city will be jam-packed and we can't even move again. Abandon their villages. No farming again. And the best thing that will happen to Nigeria is food. That is the best thing that will happen to Nigeria. We are not seeing it again. This is just little. Let me tell you something you don't do now. Nobody's going to farm now. By next year, you are going to buy... Tomato now is maybe 5 or 2, 500 naira. Tomorrow you are going to buy... You may buy 1 seed, 500 naira. Just watch and see. Nobody's going to the farm. Everybody's afraid.
We pray we won't have to get there.
Prayer we have prayed enough.
We hope...
what we need now is action.
We continue to pray.
We've prayed enough.
Okay.
We've done fasting, praying, everything. We have done.
It's never too much.
Let me tell you today. Nigeria is headquarters of a religion. But nothing is working. The people that don't even know God, they are progressing.
All right, Honorable Tallest, it's been a great time. Honestly, if you ask me, let alone my producers, if you ask me, I don't want you to go. I wish this program can continue and we will have this conversation with them more. All right, Honorable Tallest Innocent is a political analyst and has looked at issues, especially the speech of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I want to say a big thank you to you for coming and for lending your voice, for hearing your views and your opinion with us this morning on the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
It's nice meeting you again. All right, we'll go on a break, and when we come back, our second guest is waiting. Stay with us, don't go away.
Bible.
Victor, even you, they use money point.
Of course now, they use money points.
Confirmed.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Is still AM120 on the Broadcasting Corporation of your state. Of course, we're still looking at Democracy Day, analyzing Tinubu's speech, and we have our second guest here this morning. And our guest this morning, Mr. Bright Richard, is here with us. He is a public affairs analyst. Mr. Bright Richard, thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
All right, on the presidential speech, I'd like to take you through the second to the last paragraph. And it says, I think so. So, fellow Nigerians, 27 years ago, many doubted democracy would survive here because of our diversity. Today, our diversity sustains our democracy. The road ahead is steep. But June 12 reminds us, Nigerians do not break, we bend, we bleed, but we do not break. Let us renew our covenant that the laborers of the hero's past shall never be in vain, and the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this land. What do you make of that line?
Well, it's very interesting. There are some parts that the president admits the current situation, that we bend, we blink, and we bleed. So if you go by these three statements, that means Nigerians have gotten to what they call the elastic limit. But he fails to realize that we can break. Even though he said we cannot break, there's no way you bend something and it's already bleeding, and the next point is not possible. It's very possible. A situation where insecurity is becoming like a norm. A situation where economic pressure is much on the people. A situation where ethnically people are divided. If I'm talking, the next man listening to me is listening to me from his own tribal perspective. or ethnic or religious belief. So when you bring all this together, as the number one man, as the president, there should be a possibility for him to see how to bring Nigeria together. A few days ago, I sat and I was thinking, and somebody was talking about Nigeria youths, and I was like, there was this argument between the past and the present, and I said, where was Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 1973? Where was he in 1983? And where was he in 1993? If you look at these 3 years I've mentioned, he has been active. If we take out 1973, let's say 1983 and 1993, he was active in politics. 1993, I think that was when he won the election as a senator, if I'm right by that figure. Now, 2003, where was he as well? He was also active in politics. 2023, he became the president of this federation. Now, there's this popular saying among the young people. They tell us that you are the leaders of tomorrow. These same leaders we have now were leaders yesterday. They are leaders today. And they are still preparing themselves for leaders for tomorrow. Now, if you are talking about the future, then what are you building? I believe we should have a nation where, because there are some lines in his speech that I have to query. There's the second paragraph after that particular one you read, where he gave some figures. He talked about terror-related deaths that have dropped by 81%.
That's ahead. That's like the first 5 paragraphs.
Yeah.
But before you go to those figures, I'd like to respond to one area you just raised. You asked that where was Bola Tinubu in 1973,
yeah,
in 1983, and in 1993. And I have this. In 1973, Bola Tinubu resided in the United States, where he was completing his higher education and laying the groundwork for his career in accounting. In 1983, he returned to Nigeria and was employed by Mobil Oil Nigeria as an auditor, eventually rising to the executive rank of the company.
There was a job in Nigeria by then.
In 1993, he served as Senator of Lagos West under the Social Democratic Party in the Third Republic until military dictator Sani Abacha dissolved the Senate in December 1993, forcing Tinubu into exile to campaign for democracy. I'd like to just clear that about where he was.
Now, I brought those 3 years, 73, 83, and 1993. And now, compared to Nigeria as at that particular time, thank God you said 1973, he was somewhere building his career as an accountant. In Nigeria of 2026, how many of our children can actually go to school to build their own career?
Many are.
Everybody's going to school.
A lot of people have traveled abroad to study.
In Nigeria?
Yes, a lot
Not
of
abroad,
Nigerians.
in Nigeria.
Are you saying to... No, he went
I'm
abroad.
talking about Nigeria of today.
Are you not building your
How
career?
many Nigerians can actually travel abroad?
A lot of Nigerians are living every day. Even the numbers that are living now are more than the numbers that live at that
Why
time.
are they living? Because there is no home. The
They
home
want
is
to
not
study.
safe.
They're looking for greener pastures.
That means the pasture here is no longer green.
Why are you still here if the pasture is not green?
Give me a way I will live.
Well, I'm not living because I feel that the pasture is still green.
And where is the green? Let's even talk about that pasture that is green. Where are the students in Orire local government? The government schools, are the students still going to school because of, are they safe in school? That's where we build our future. That was why 1973, he was somewhere building his future.
Can we go back memory lane? When you were growing up, you went to a government public school.
I went to Federal Government College.
Fantastic.
Did they still write National Common Entrance again?
I'm coming. They're still writing National Common Entrance.
Is it as popular as
They're
then?
still writing it, yes. Maybe because you don't have children within the age writing it.
No,
They still write National Common Entrance. They still do. Now, let me quickly say that. What was the public school like when you were there and what it was like today? Why has most of our school become dilapidated that you hardly find chairs for children to sit? In those days, it doesn't mean that there were chairs, because I remember that I took my chair from my home, When the session is about to end, we take our chairs back home.
Now,
it was my chair. It was not the school chair.
You may not even answer that question, but what year was that? Compared to 1973, it was in this same country Awolowo gave them, not us, gave them free education.
Gave us. We still have cocoa, so we are still part of the generation.
Give them free education. I never had free education.
Some children in your state are enjoying free education as we speak.
And what was the educational setting as at that particular time?
The governor of your state is trying its best.
The first protest in Nigeria was because the meal given to them in UI, they had to share one chicken. They had people who washed their clothes. Those going to UI, you feed yourself. So that's why I started by that. Let's look at the foundation. Because, and again too, what even brought that crisis is that the guy who
now we have student loans now.
Student loans.
Yes.
And how much is the tuition fee? Before the loan came up, how much was the tuition fee before the loan? And when the loan came up, how much is the tuition fee? UI was less than 100,000 then, before the student loan. Now that the student loan came on board, UI school fees have gone to over 400,000.
Are you saying is the student loan that has made UI to increase their fee? Is that what you're saying?
If you check the news report then, when this student loan came up, ASU had to shout that this loan is going to affect the tuition fee. There was an outcry, and when the loan came up, it's as if ASU knew what is going to happen. So if you look at some of these things, the loan also take care of education funding? Do we have a standard laboratory? So my point is that the foundation where you build a future is no longer there. All we talk about is just cosmetic approach. He had the opportunity to travel to the US to gain education. And those who decided to stay in Nigeria then also had education. But now, you cannot afford to travel. How much is flight fee? Not less than $1,000. 10, 15 years ago, it was the same $1,000. $1,000 in Naira then was about 150,000 Naira, based on the exchange rate. $1,000 today, you're talking about 1.3 million Naira. How many civil servants can actually afford that? Now, look at some of the scam we experienced. They said before he came on board, minimum wage was 30,000 Naira, which is quite true. Now, minimum wage is 70,000 Naira, 80,000 Naira. Let's do a comparison. The purchasing power of a 30,000 Naira minimum wage before 2023. What can that minimum wage afford? How much was a bag of rice then? About 27,000, 30,000 Naira. That means with your minimum wage then, you can buy a bag of rice. How much is a bag of rice now?
And that means you're going to eat only the bag of rice. At that time too.
And now you cannot
because the money will not
you cannot even afford the bag of rice.
You see, one of the things we must recognize, and I like to say it, you just talked about UI, talking about the fees and the loan. Was it the same student loan that made schools, even primary and secondary schools, to increase their fees as if we're not in this same country? We must understand that the standard of living is the reason why some of these fees go up.
And who brought the standard of living?
But then we should ask ourselves.
Let's understand.
No,
there's
let's
a
do
difference
this.
between
Let's do this
standard
analysis.
of living and cost of living.
Let's do this analysis. When there was an announcement,
subsidy is gone.
Subsidy is gone.
Yes.
Does it mean that all the filling station, all the fuel they had at that time, were just being purchased?
Now,
is that government
let me answer that question. On May 29, 2023, the president said subsidy is gone. In news, you are more media than myself. Let me use that word. In news, there are what they call the newsmakers. You have the newscasters. You have the reporters. These political figures, they are the newsmaker. He said subsidy is gone. I remember that afternoon, I left where I was. I went around town. I discovered that 80% of the petrol station owners, they've shut down. Because of the presidential statement, subsidy is gone. That same afternoon, Mela Kyari also said that we have stock that will last us till the end of June. Because the subsidy, the 3 trillion Naira Buhari paid for subsidy 2023 was to cover from January to June. Now, the following day, this same NNPC, who claimed they had stock that will last to the end of June, increased their price to 500.
Why?
That was where orders followed. Now, who is the commander-in-chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? They are now acting on a presidential directive. And you know, for a period of 1 year after that subsidy statement is gone, the federal government was still paying subsidy. Not until Dangote Refinery came on board fully. But the price was still high. Now, I'm telling you that there are consequences of some presidential directives. Now, subsidy does not remove stick consumption. That's the 450,000 barrels per day of crude oil